Here we go. This is good fun. Now it's time for this.
Hi, Joe Marler here. I'm your croupier this morning, as it's time for Mark Clattenburg's Football Roulette.
Thank you, Joseph. Mark, you refereed a professional football for nearly, 30 years? You've officiated in the Premier League and even a Champions League final with some of the biggest names in the game. We would love to hear your views on just some of the players. And what better way to pick who we talk about other than a game of talkSPORT roulette? We borrowed the roulette wheel from the Palm Beach Casino in Berkeley Street in the West End of London. We'll spin completely at random. It'll then land on a player or a name that you've shared a pitch with, and I want you to tell us a little story about them, Mark. If you're ready, we'll just do a couple. If you're ready, let's have the first spin.
Red 12, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Legend. No, I remember we had one of these love-hate relationships, I think, at first, and I think I loved him, but he hated me. So I remember
he hated you.
I'm sure. I remember at Bolton, refereeing Bolton Man United, and I know this game was always difficult with Big Sam's teams, and Kevin Davies battered Patrice Evra, and Sir Alex didn't like it. So as I was going down the tunnel at Bolton, he waited for us, said some choice words, so I decided I'd send him off. And there was a policewoman there, and I said to the policewoman, tell him he can't come back out for the second half. She'll shake, and she says, I'm not telling him. You have to. So after the match, it was fantastic. After the match, in his post-match interview, he said to the reporter, because the reporter said, what did you say to Clattenburg? And he said, I don't want to repeat what I said. However, he clearly listened to what I said because he had a better second half than he did on the first half.
Is that right? He was there last night celebrating that late goal as well from Ronaldo.
I saw it.
Okay, let's have one more. We get time just for one more spin.
Green 0, Vincent Kompany.
Interesting. I remember refereeing a game in Israel against Belgium, and I had to send him off the last couple of minutes for a second yellow card, clear second yellow card. He got sent off, and then on the Sunday, this was on the Wednesday, on the Sunday I'm refereeing the Manchester derby at Old Trafford, and he waited for us, and he said, okay, Mark, he said, I was quite rightly sent off. Just before half-time, he committed this challenge, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And I gave him a yellow card. It could have easily been a red card on the VAR. Give him a yellow card, and you're thinking, wow, I could have sent him off twice in the space of a week.
Yeah.
And then I remember a game at Man City, and I think I made a mistake in the first half. Everybody else, the crowd thought I'd made a mistake. When I came out for the second half, he waited for us, and he said, Mark, everybody makes mistakes. Don't worry. He says, you're the best in the world. Don't make it again. But you know what? Respect.
Mark, I want to ask you a quick one. I know I'm running out of time, but I want to ask you a quick one. Have you ever refereed a game? You probably haven't, and somebody, one of the top players has done something you've actually thought, that was genius. I mean, absolutely, wow.
Yeah, the thing is, you get, I remember refereeing Messi for the first time in Paris. It was Paris-Barca, and when I was watching him play, I was watching the ball and I was getting memorised. I was starting to get dizzy watching him move the ball with his feet. And then you watch somebody like Ronaldo. And I remember, I'll never forget the first time I ever refereed Real Madrid, and Ronaldo scored, and the goalkeeper Casillas had the ball. And within 5 or 7 seconds, 3 passes, Real Madrid had scored. And I was still on the halfway line, and I thought, you know what, when the ball went in the back of the net, I may as well just wait here for the ball to come back. It was unbelievable.
Mark, what about the Battle of the Bridge?
Yeah, imagine VAR in that match now. It would spoil the fun. It was one hell of a match.
You gave 12 yellow cards and not a single red card.
Joe, you know what happened? I left the red card in the dressing room.
Well, I have to say, having watched it back, because when I was doing a bit of research, believe it or not, Al, it's now my second favourite game. I absolutely loved that match, and it's probably because you didn't red card anyone, and you just said, right, let these two just go at it.
But that's the problem, Mark, isn't it? You know, you let it go, and you've said earlier you could easily have given a red. But some people say, well, there's no consistency. By the law, he should have gone off. But we want a bit of entertainment. We want the, God, is it yellow? Oh, he's lucky there. You know, that's all part of the game for me.
If he'd used a red, there'd have been like 4 players left on the pitch.
Yeah. But you know what? It's one of them games where we remember it for the excitement it was, and that's what makes the Premier League the best league in the world. When you have these memories, you don't want a referee going and sending 5 players off. I knew the context of this game. I knew how important it was for both sides, one for bragging rights and the other one to keep in the title race. And referees are the ones, okay, you know the laws. It's a bit like a policeman, you know the law. However, you've got to have some tolerance. You've got to understand the nature of the game. And people will criticise us. However, it was one of them games that everybody will remember for the excitement it was.
But games like that, the people who are watching it on behalf of FIFA, UEFA, etc., does that stop some of our refs, our top refs, getting bigger jobs because maybe they've not done the job properly, and yet we loved it? It was brilliant to watch as a spectacle.
I think everybody understands that you have to referee. I had to referee slightly different than I was in the Premier League when I went in Champions League and European Championships. There is a slight difference. There's a different style of play. However, the Premier League is about, the product. The referees certainly in England let a little bit more go than the foreign referees do. So, the referees do play the part in making the product the best it can be without jeopardising the safety of players, because for me, the players' safety is the most important.
And just finally, Mark, and good luck with the book, by the way. This is Whistleblower, out today. Mark Clattenburg, Whistleblower. It's going to be a great read. Do you have to think long and hard about quitting the Premier, or was it something you said, that's it, I'm giving up, I've had enough, I'm moving on to a different life?
Yeah, no, I started thinking about it, and then I had an altercation with Mourinho, which is, it's in the book, the story in the book. It's Stoke City and Man United. It's never the easiest game, and Stoke's one of the worst places to go and referee because it's freezing cold.
Oof, it's the coldest. It is the coldest in England.
It's one of the worst places to ever go for refereeing because it's so cold. But it was one of them incidents where he came in, tried to play mind games on a decision, and I just lost it and threw a boot against the wall, and there was a big argument. I said, I'm going to quit. He said, don't quit, you're the best referee. But I knew then I wanted to go in.
Did you?
When VAR was being introduced to the Premier League, and I didn't have any time, I was abroad all the time. I was in St George's every 2 weeks, refereeing every week. I thought, you know what, I didn't want to be also going down to the VAR centre every week down to Stockley Park. So I thought, let's try a change. And like I said, Saudi came along and give us a chance to now look after my family in such a short career.
Are you happy now? Are you happier?
Yeah, I'm in Greece now, in a beautiful part of Athens. So I've been in my second year of educating now. So what's interesting is I'm out of England, in Greece, educating the referees. Howard Webb is in the US educating the referees. And we are the two, probably the best referees that England's had in the last 20, 30 years in regards to tournaments. But we're both educating referees, not in England. It seems a bit strange.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.